My name is Julian Boggs. I'm the policy advocate with Environment Ohio. Environment Ohio is a statewide, citizen-based environmental advocacy organization working to protect our air, water, and open spaces. I think that certainly we can all agree, actually on both sides of the argument here, whether it's the environmental folks at this table or the industry, that that fracking is a big deal. The scale is very large. As Trent notes, this is something that should be taken with very thoughtful indication. And if what both sides are saying is true, and that this is significantly going to change the landscape of Ohio, we should certainly be having a robust public discussion about that. That public discussion is happening in town halls across northeastern Ohio, in communities, and unfortunately it just doesn't seem to be happening as much in the Statehouse. But we think that the discussion should not only focus on the details, the amendments and the measurements and the specific chemicals that are being used, but also have a larger view on what's happening, the choices that we're making with our energy future that relate to Ohio's air, land, and water and our future. And we believe that fracking is inherently polluting to Ohio's air, land, and water. All you have to do is look at what's happening next door in Pennsylvania. Drinking water contaminated, families getting sick, beautiful places turning into industrial zones, to see that that's the case. But even if you wanted to believe that fracking could be limited and regulated in such a way as to safeguard our health and environment, then this package falls far short. It's not the deal. Even if all of our colleagues' eminently reasonable and modest amendments were adopted, here's what we still would be left with. Billions of gallons of toxic wastewater, much of it coming from Pennsylvania, laced with benzene, corrosive salts, even radioactive material, but somehow still not regulated as hazardous waste. No restrictions on the types of toxic chemicals used in fracking fluid, not even a ban on using diesel fuel. Doctors still gagged from alerting the public about toxic fracking threats in their communities. Drilling companies would still be able to silence landowners and victims through non-disclosure clauses in leases or legal settlements. Our state parks and our forests would still be open to drilling, turning our scenic landscapes and wildlife habitat into industrial zones. And Ohio communities will still have no say over whether they want this destructive and polluting drilling process happening within their borders. So even as, reasonable folks such as my good friends at the Trent and others have worked diligently to craft modest and reasonable improvements, even after that, we'll still be facing serious threats. That's just on the oil and gas drilling side. And then perhaps the bill's most destructive aspect is on in its amendments, as Jed noted, to Ohio's renewable energy and energy efficiency laws. If you want to have a big picture discussion about Ohio's energy future, as this bill was promised that we would do so, the bill keeps us focused on fossil fuels, keeps us focused on fossil fuels that are going to run out, that are going to inherently pollute our air and land and water, and actually turns away on the commitment that our state made 4 years ago to renewable energy and energy efficiency. Clean renewable resources that are abundant in Ohio, that are clean and that have the potential to truly transform our clean energy economy into the future. Both through the specific amendments that Jed mentioned that will allow fossil fuel projects at universities to count as renewable energy, both by allowing all combined heat and power projects to displace energy efficiency projects that are already on the books. Energy efficiency projects like the one featured in the Columbus Dispatch I read this weekend, where AEP is offering tens of thousands of rebates on Energy Star appliances to its customers. That program is because of the energy efficiency provisions in our law that are now undermined by adding combined heat and power to the efficiency standard. So all in all, the bill, it takes Ohio in the wrong direction. We should adopt the amendments, and folks should have pushed for amendments to make it better, but ultimately, this bill takes us in the wrong direction, and the legislature should start from scratch.